All right, all right. Namaste and peace and blessings. Thank you so much for joining me in this prenatal yoga flow. I ask that we gather any items that we feel we may need for our session here today. One of the items that we're definitely going to need is a long bolster pillow or any type of pillow, just big enough to fit on our laps. So maybe if we can grab any type of pillow that we may have to fit over our laps, and maybe we might use our yoga strap. This is an option. We may or may not use this. And a yoga block is optional. I don't think we're going to get to the yoga block today, but just in case, if we have one, maybe we can go and get it and bring it near. And once we gather all of our supplies, may we find our bodies in a comfortable seated pose. I am going to come into a half lotus. May you find any easy seat that feels good for you as we ensure that our spinal cords are nice and elongated here, meaning our backs are nice and long. We don't want to bend our backs. We want to keep that back nice and long because it creates extra space in the belly for baby. It also helps with our posture. So leaning the tummy downward, leaning the shoulders forward. Sometimes they feel okay, but it's, again, we are squishing baby. We are taking away space. Nice and elongated here. It helps keep our posture nice and long, and it also creates that space for baby and tummy. As we ensure that our shoulders are melted downward away from our ears, this allows the upper parts of our bodies to relax and soothe. And maybe we can close our eyes or gaze our eyes downward towards the earth as we take a nice breath in. Exhale. Taking a moment to notice how the breath feels within the body. Breathe in. Exhale. As we breathe our palms at heart center, coming into a seated prayer, maybe we can pull our thumbs inward towards our sternum if that feels good. Shoulders relaxed, eyes gazed down or closed. As we relax here in silent meditation for 5 natural breaths. 2 more breaths. As we take a moment to notice how we feel here in our grounded position with our eyes closed, taking a moment to simply just be aware of what is going on within. And whatever the thoughts, feelings, and emotions may be, may we simply be aware without judgment, always being kind and loving to oneself. As we breathe our palms above our heads, coming into a seated salute, fingertips are interlaced with our pointer finger pointing up towards the heavens. Our heart chakra comes forward, chin is slightly up. As we allow our arms to slightly flow to the back of the room. Noticing that this is a slight back bend. With our chin up, we're going to hang out here for 3 breaths. 2 breaths. Exhale into our salute. As we reach our palms downward towards our shoulders, we're going to do a couple of shoulder rolls towards the back. We are working on the upper parts of our bodies here, loosening up our shoulders. And we can go as fast or as slow as we choose. 2 more breaths. As we find our pause and rotate our shoulders in the opposite direction. 4 breaths. 2 more breaths. As we find our pause, we're going to extend our arms outward towards the side. Our palms can be downward or they can be upward, whatever feels best for you. And yes, you may notice that your arms are already starting to burn. This just goes to show that little movements has an impact on the body. As we rotate our arms forward, and at any time, if you need to rest your arms, please feel free to bring your palms downward to the earth. And if we are doing our circular rotations, 3 more breaths. 2 breaths. Finding our pause as we rotate our arms in the opposite direction. 3 breaths. 2 breaths. Finding our pause as we relax our palms downward towards the earth. Fingertips are connected to our environment as we take this moment to simply be aware of what is going on around us. And during our session here today, we may hear noises and sounds. We may become distracted. May we take notice of what is going on without judgment, simply being aware. As we gaze our eyes down or close our eyes for 3 breaths. Breathe in. Exhale. 2 more breaths. As we flow our palms above our heads in our salute, and we're going to slightly bring our palms apart. We are coming into our seated extended mountain with our palms outward towards the side. Our palms are not connected. When our palms are connected, we are in our salute. When we bring our palms apart, we are in our seated extended mountain. And in our mountain pose, we are channeling in positivity, hope, and inspiration. We are channeling in whatever we feel our minds and bodies need at this present moment. With our heart chakra open, our chin slightly up. Breathe in. Exhale. 3 breaths. 2 breaths. As we bring our palms outward to our seated star, we're going to bring our palms slightly further to the side as we twist our bodies towards the right. Palms come downward towards the earth, and we're going to slightly gaze over that right shoulder, keeping in mind that we don't want to go into a deep twist. Especially if we have big bellies, we do not want to over twist our bodies here. So in our seated twist, we are gazing over our right shoulder. We're going to hang out here in our subtle twist for 3 breaths. 2 more breaths. Exhale our body back to center, coming into that star, twisting our bodies towards the left. Palms come downward towards the earth. Keeping in mind, we're going to come into a nice subtle twist, not too deep, as we gaze over that left shoulder. This seated twist allows our spinal cords to relax and soothe here. 3 breaths. 2 more breaths. Exhale a body back to center, flowing into that salute. Flowing into that star. Exhale to salute. Breathing to our prayer. Flowing back to our salute. Exhale to our seated extended mountain as we lean our bodies towards the right, coming into a slight bend. Feeling this side bend, and maybe we can gaze up at the heavens. Opening up their heart chakra, 3 breaths. If we choose, we can take this right hand and bring it downward towards the earth and come deeper into that seated twist, if we choose. And come deeper into that seated side bend, if that feels good. 2 more breaths. Exhale back to center, coming into that extended mountain. As we lean our bodies towards the left, seated side bend, opposite side, gazing up at the heavens. We're going to hang out here for 3 breaths. If we choose, we can lower our left hand downward towards the earth, coming deeper into that side bend. Noticing how this feels as we are gazing up. 2 more breaths. Exhale to center, flowing into that seated salute, palms together. Exhale to prayer. Relaxing the body as we flow onto our hands and our knees, coming into a tabletop pose. In our table, ensuring that our knees are hip distance apart, Our elbows are straight as we drop our bodies down to our cow. Feeling this in our lumbar parts, our lower parts of our backs. Chin is slightly up, 2 breaths. As we flow to our cat, our chin comes towards our clavicle, spinal cord goes up towards the heavens, cat pose, 2 breaths. Exhale back to cow. Flowing back to table. Flowing back to cat. Exhale to table. We're gonna hang out here just for a second and we're gonna extend that right leg towards the back. We're gonna work on our sunbird pose here. Palms are flat on the earth in front of us. And if we choose, we can extend that left arm forward. So we have our right leg towards the back, left arm forward, and we are in our sunbird pose as we are gazed forward. If we choose, we can lower those right toes downward towards the earth. Noticing how this sunbird feels. Doing whatever feels best for you, 4 breaths. Two more breaths. Exhale back to table. Dropping down to cow. Exhale to cat. Flowing back to table. As we sunbird opposite side, taking that left leg, bringing it towards the back. As we breathe that right arm forward, we are in our sunbird opposite side. Keeping in mind that we can lower those toes downward towards the earth. For balance, whatever feels good for you, we are in our sunbird. Gazing forward, 4 breaths. Two more breaths. Exhale back to table, drop into cow. Exhale to cat. Flowing back to our table. As we cross our feet at our ankles, come into a seated position. Just for a second, we're gonna flow onto our sides here. Relaxing the body here. Maybe taking this long pillow and bringing it between our thighs. If we choose, we can put a pillow underneath our head. And now we are relaxing and hanging out here in our fetal pose. And we are envisioning the fetus inside of our bellies here. We are envisioning the fetus inside of our tummies here. Or maybe we are trying to manifest pregnancy. So we are manifesting and envisioning the fetus inside of our bellies. With our eyes gazed down or closed. Maybe take a nice breath in. Exhale. As we envision a healthy baby, a healthy mind, and a healthy body during our pregnancy. And if we choose, we can take our top hand and place it on our tummies. As we meditate and go inward for 6 natural breaths. Three breaths. As we slowly awaken from that fetus pose, slowly opening up our eyes, rotating our ankles, we're going to use that top hand to push our torsos away from the earth, and we're going to flip to the opposite side. We're going to do fetal pose on the opposite side. Relaxing our bodies once more onto the earth, placing that pillow between our thighs as we relax our bodies down in fetal opposite side, using our pillows as we choose for comfort. We are going inwards. We are just simply soothing the mind and body, envisioning fetus within, baby within, manifesting as we hang out here, 5 breaths. Maybe placing our palm on our tummies, if that feels good. Three more breaths. As we slowly open our eyes, we're going to rotate our ankles. We're going to come out of that fetal pose using our top hand to push our bodies up, coming into a tabletop position just for a second. And we're going to hang on to our pillow here. We're going to hold on to our pillow, taking this long pillow here that we have. Let's find our bodies in our kneel position. So we are now kneeled. We are in our kneel position, kind of like we're going into a camel. But we're not going to go into a camel. We're going to take this pillow and place it in front of our thighs, our upper thighs, kind of close to our pelvic bone. And we're going to slightly come down onto the earth, and we're going to lay on this pillow. We're going to come into a Spanx pose. We'll come to the side so you can see me. So we are laying on that pillow on the top of our thighs here in our Spanx pose. And in our Spanx pose, as you can see, this allows our tummy to not be on the earth. So maybe we're less than 5 months and we can get into the Spanx pose by using a pillow. Because keeping in mind that when we are pregnant with big bellies, we don't want to lay on our tummies and cause any injuries to our tummies. We don't want to put any pressure on our tummies. So this pillow is just a nice modification that will allow us to get into our Spanx pose. And of course, the Spanx pose is a slight back bend. However, if we are above 5 months and our tummies are just too big for the Spanx pose, maybe flow into a child's pose or puppy pose, whatever feels good for you. So we are in our child's, our puppy, or our Spanx pose. And we are relaxing and soothing here. If we're in our Spanx pose, ensuring that our shoulders are not shrugged up towards our ears, having control of that body, having control of that spinal cord, slight back bend. If we're in our child's pose or puppy pose, we are allowing our shoulders to melt forward into the yoga. We are allowing our shoulders to melt forward into the yoga mat. Maybe our third eye chakra, our forehead is connected to the earth. As we are relaxing and soothing here, eyes are gazed down or closed, no matter what pose we are in. 5 natural breaths. Three more breaths. And we're going to slowly push our bodies out of this Spanx pose. If we're in our child's pose or puppy pose, we're going to stay there. We're going to flow out of that Spanx pose, removing that pillow. We're going to come into a child's pose or a puppy pose, whatever feels best for you. We're going to hang out here. And for those who are already in a child's pose or puppy pose, if your body feels, maybe we can switch from a child's pose to a puppy pose. So if we was in a child's pose, maybe flow into a puppy pose. Or maybe a wide-legged puppy pose, because we got to always create that space for baby. So wide-legged puppy pose. Or our child's pose, wide-legged child's pose. As our torso is melted forward into the earth, our eyes are gazed down or closed, and our bodies are simply going inward. 5 breaths. Three breaths. Two more breaths. With our arms extended in front of us, we are in an extended child's pose or puppy pose. Palms are flat on the earth. We're going to spinal wave our bodies out of this child's pose, puppy pose. Using our palms to push our bodies forward, using our palms to push our buttocks towards our heels. 2 more spinal waves. As we find our pause at center, coming back into a tabletop position. Dropping down to our cow. Exhale to cat. Flowing back to our table as we push our bodies up to our down dog, gazing at our feet. Maybe we are walking our dog by pedaling our feet left and right. We're going to find our pause, shifting our bodies forward, coming into a high plank just for a second. Exhaling back to down dog. As we pedal our feet, walking our dog. Finding our pause, we're going to walk our feet towards our hands, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. We're creating that space for baby. Wide-legged forward fold. Or we can flow into a half forward fold if we get dizzy. Sometimes we are too big, our balance is off. So sometimes a complete forward fold may not be a good idea. If that's the case, half forward fold, 4 breaths, whatever feels good for you. Two more breaths. Blow into a half forward if we were not already there. Breathing to our Tadasana, our mountain pose. Palms are at our side. As we are pedaling our feet side by side, relaxing and soothing the body here. Noticing how we feel, finding that pause in that Tadasana. Breathing our palms above our heads in that salute. Fingertips are reaching up towards the heavens, palms are together. Standing salute. We can flow into an extended mountain if we choose by separating our palms. Now we are in our extended mountain. Whatever feels best for you. Heart chakra is open, chin is up. 3 breaths. 2 breaths. Interlacing our hands together, pointer fingers pointing up towards the heavens as our arms slightly flow to the back of the room. Two more breaths. Exhale to center. We're going to come into that extended mountain. As we lean our bodies towards the right, now we are in our standing crescent moon. This is a slight side bend as we gaze up at the heavens, opening up that heart chakra. 3 breaths. 2 breaths. Exhale to center. Crescent moon, opposite side. Feeling this side bend, gazing up at the heavens. 2 more breaths. Exhale to center. We are back in our extended mountain, meaning our palms are separated as we flow to our standing salute, meaning our palms are together. Exhaling down to our standing prayer. Breathing our palms down at heart center, relaxing our shoulders downward away from the ears, allowing the upper parts of our bodies to relax. Our bodies are nice and tall, legs are parallel side by side, creating a stance, separating the feet if needed to create balance. Whatever you feel as though you need in your body, my voice is just a guide. May you do what feels best for you and your body at this moment. In our standing prayer, our feet are rooted. We are grounded with our feet. Our head, our heart chakra is ascending. We are moving to higher levels. We are growing, we are becoming, we are being. And maybe we can breathe our palms above our heads in that salute. Palms together as we breathe our palms downward on top of our heads. Now we are just taking a moment to notice how we feel. Realizing and understanding and seeing that, or visualizing that we are growing, we are becoming. Heart chakra is open, crown chakra, as we ascend to new levels in our lives. No matter where we go, what goals, visions, plans we have for ourselves, no matter how big we get, may we always be grounded. May we always be rooted. May we always be centered. Meaning, may we always stay humble. Grounding and soothing ourselves, grounding and centering ourselves as we ascend to new levels. As we breathe our palms at heart center, relaxing those shoulders downward away from our ears. We're going to take a couple of breaths of silent meditation to simply just plant and ground, to simply allow our minds, our thoughts, and our visions to ascend to new levels. As we hang out here, silent meditation, 5 breaths. May we breathe in deeply. Exhale. Three more breaths. As we slightly widen our feet, we want to create that nice stance here. We're going to hinge at our hips, coming into a half forward fold. We are in our prayer hands. Taking a notice of how this feels within the body. You may feel it behind your legs and your hamstrings here. We are still at prayer hands. 3 breaths. Gazing down at the nose, 2 breaths. As we slightly bend our knees, coming into a chair pose. We can come down deep in our chair, or we can be halfway up in our chair. We can keep our palms at heart center, or we can extend our palms in front of us. Whatever chair pose feels good for you. 4 breaths. 2 breaths. Exhale to half forward fold. Palms are slightly beneath the knees. Chin is slightly up. 3 breaths. 2 breaths. Flowing down to a complete forward fold if you're able. If not, we're going to hang out here in this half. 2 more breaths. Walking our hands forward, bringing our feet towards the back. We are back in that down dog, gazing at our feet as we walk our dog, pedal on our feet left to right. Finding our pause, we're going to walk our hands back towards our feet, complete forward fold or half forward fold. Exhale to Tadasana, mountain pose. Breathing to our salute. Exhale to prayer. As we step that right foot forward. Yes. We're going to reach our right hand down towards our feet, twisting our bodies forward. We are in our pyramid. Maybe our bodies are slightly off to the side if we have a big belly. We are feeling this stretch here in our pyramid. 2 more breaths. As we bend up, coming into a warrior 2. Palms are off towards the side. We are in our warrior 2 here. Feeling the body, building strength here. Balancing and soothing. 3 breaths. 2 breaths. Exhale to warrior 1 or high lunge. High lunge. Warrior 1. Whatever you choose. 3 more breaths. 2 breaths. If we're in our warrior 1, maybe flow into that high lunge. Exhale down to pyramid, straightening out that front leg. We are back in that pyramid. 2 breaths. Walking that front foot forward. We are back in our complete forward fold or half forward fold. 2 breaths. Flowing up to our Tadasana. We are in our mountain pose. As we breathe that left foot forward, right foot's to the back. Straightening out their front leg, we're going to come into that pyramid. Feeling that stretch, opposite side. If we have big belly, slightly bringing that body off towards the side. Keeping in mind of the baby in the tummy. 2 breaths. As we exhale up to that warrior 2, feeling the body balance here. Balancing, soothing. 2 more breaths. Exhale into warrior 1 or high lunge. We're in that high lunge, or we're in that warrior 1, whatever you choose. 2 more breaths. If we're in our warrior 1, we're gonna flow to that high lunge. Breathing down, come into that pyramid, straightening out that front leg, feeling the stretch, 2 breaths. Slightly gaze forward as we walk that foot forward, back into that complete forward fold. Relaxing the body here. Come into half forward fold. Breathing back down to complete. Walking our hands forward, walking our feet towards the back, down dog. Gazing at our feet as we are walking our dog. Finding our pause, we're gonna drop down to our dolphin, coming onto our forearms, relaxing the body. Buttocks comes high in the air. Maybe we can walk our feet towards our torso here in our dolphin. If we feel dizzy, we can drop down to our knees, coming into a child's pose. If we're in our dolphin pose, 4 more breaths. Two breaths. As we drop down to our knees, flowing our bodies into a wide-legged child's pose. Breathing that heart chakra between our thighs, our third eye chakra, our forehead connects to the earth. Our arms are extended in front of us. We are in that extended wide-legged child's pose. Eyes gaze down closed, heart chakras relaxed. 6 breaths. Three more breaths. With our arms extended in front of us, maybe bring our palms together and breathe our palms over our head, coming into a prayer hands, child's pose. 4 breaths. Two more breaths. Gazing forward, we're going to extend those palms in front of us. We are back into that extended child's pose, puppy pose. Palms are flat on the earth as we spinal wave our bodies out of this position. Maybe doing 2 spinal waves. As we find our pause at table, dropping down to the cow. Exhale to cat. Flow into table. As we take the right arm, breathe it up towards the heavens, feeling that stretch. Maybe gazing up at our right fingers. Breathe in. Exhale, thread the needle. Right arm threads through the left. Heart chakra comes downward towards the earth as we relax and soothe here. If we choose, we can wrap this left arm around our backs if that feels good for us. Or we can extend that left arm above our heads, palms flat on the earth. 5 breaths. Three more breaths. As we slowly unwrap that arm, if it was wrapped, we're going to unthread that needle, finding our bodies back on the table, drop into cow, exhale to cat, flow into our table. As we take the left arm, breathe it up towards the heavens, feeling that stretch. Maybe gazing up at our left fingertips. Breathe in. Exhale, thread the needle, left arm threads through the right, heart chakra comes downward towards the earth, shoulder blades melt forward with our eyes gaze down and relaxed. As we take a nice, deep, intentional breath in, exhale. And if we choose, maybe we can wrap this right arm around our backs if that feels good for us. Or extend that right arm above the head, palms flat on the earth, whatever you choose. 5 breaths. Three more breaths. As we slowly unwrap that arm, if it was wrapped, we're going to unthread that needle, coming back to that table, dropping down to cow, exhale to cat, flowing back to our table. As we cross our feet at our ankles, finding our bodies in a seated pose just for a second, as we're going to flow our feet into a down position here, coming into a diamond or a butterfly. Feet are together, we are opening up our hips here. Connecting our hands to our feet, our spinal cord is nice and long, heart chakra is open, chin is up. Maybe allowing our head to relax between our shoulder blades. We are in our cow pose. 3 breaths. Two more breaths. Exhale to cat. Flowing back to our bound position, either butterfly or diamond. Just a quick note, in our butterfly, our feet are closer towards our torso. In our diamond, our feet are further away. So doing whatever feels best for you in your hips. This is a hip opener. As we breathe our palms at heart center and slightly hinge at the hips here. Noticing that when we hinge our body, we go deeper into that hip opener. This actually prepares the hips for labor. As we are gazed forward with our eyes down, we're going to hang out here for 4 breaths. Two more breaths. Exhaling back to center, relaxing the body here. Okay. We're going to slowly and carefully bring our right leg under our left, crossing that left leg over that right, coming into a cow face. If our tummies are too big or if a cow face is not comfortable for us, maybe flow into any easy seat that feels good for you. As we take our left hand, place it on our right knee, our right side, taking the right hand, place it behind our backs, fingertips facing away from us as we gaze over that right shoulder. Seated twist, 3 breaths. Ensuring that we're not going too deep in this twist here. 2 more breaths. Exhale back to center, twisting the body forward. We're going to take the left hand, bring it behind our backs with the fingertips facing away from us. We're going to take the right hand, place it on our left side of our body. We're going to slightly gaze over that left shoulder. 3 breaths. Not going too deep in the twist, please. 2 more breaths. Exhaling the body back to center, breathing our palms at heart center, coming into that seated prayer. 2 breaths. Breathe in. Exhale. As we breathe our palms above our heads, coming into our seated salute, palms are together, heart chakras open, chin is up. Interlacing our hands, pointed finger pointing up towards the heavens, allowing the arms to flow towards the back. This is a slight back bend here, chin is up, 3 breaths. 2 breaths. Exhale to center, coming back to that salute. As we breathe down to our prayer, relaxing the shoulders downward away from the ears. Our palms are at heart center. As we take a nice breath in, exhale. Taking a moment to notice, taking a moment to ensure that our chin is relaxed, our facial muscles are relaxed, our forehead is relaxed. As we are in our seated prayer, as we are taking this time to thank ourselves for allowing ourselves to practice self-care here today, as we are thanking ourselves for practicing prenatal, for manifesting whatever we needed this course for, whatever we needed this class for. May we take our time to thank ourselves for showing up for self and giving self a little time, love, gratitude, and appreciation. And I'm just so happy that you allowed me to share this moment with you, for it truly, truly is an honor. The light in me sees, appreciates, and respects the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much. Peace and blessings be to you all. You have a great evening. Thank you so much for showing up. Take care of your mind, take care of your body, take care of your baby. Until next time, thank you.